Family, come on back in. My apologies. Again, man, technical difficulties, but you know what? This technology will not stop this message from being communicated because, again, I think somebody needs to hear what we're going to discuss. As you guys continue to come in, comment below. We back. Comment below. We are back in the chat. I'll wait just a few more moments to give individuals some time to tap in. Again, my apologies. Not quite sure what's going on. This has been happening the past couple of times we've been going live, but we will get it together. Rick, I see you. Angel, I see you. Lena, I see you. My brother, Dwayne Terry, One Purpose Mom is in the building. Absolutely locked in. Lena, we back. Sheila's, we back. Absolutely. Come on in, come on in. And again, my apologies. Not for sure what's going on, but nonetheless, we're going to continue this fire and make sure this train keeps moving because somebody needs to hear what we are going to discuss. So again, to briefly summarize, the quote that we're highlighting and really kind of unpacking from Roger Bannister, the one that is willing to push themselves further when the effort becomes painful, that will be the one that will win. And as I was mentioning, not quite sure at what point in time the previous broadcast was cut off, but as I was mentioning, when I established the goal to run 5 miles under 30 minutes flat, ultimately, I told myself what I was going to get accomplished. I didn't say I was going to try to do it. No, I said, this is what I'm aiming to experience. This is what we will get did. Will be grammatically incorrect this morning, family. I'm telling myself I'm determined to accomplish this. And I gained an understanding of where I was, right? I understood currently I'm running 1 mile at 6 minutes and 35 seconds flat, right? So I've got to shave those seconds off in order to experience this goal, in order for me to accomplish this goal that I'm aiming to achieve, so to speak, right? Now, as I was mentioning, right, as I'm attempting to achieve this goal, the closer I got to the destination of 5 miles under 30 minutes, it got rough, right? It became challenging. Like 1 second was like fighting for your life, right? 1 second, I would run. I'm saying, today it's gonna happen, and then I'd end up running 5 miles. It'd be like 30 minutes and 6 seconds, right? 30 minutes and 8 seconds. But it was in those moments, family, that I understood the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to those that can endure. Comment below. I have to continue to endure, right? I've got to continue to push further. Like Roger said, the one that's willing to push themselves further when the effort becomes painful, when the effort becomes time consuming, when the effort becomes overwhelming, when the effort becomes stressful, the one that's willing to push themselves, that's the one that's going to win. And I can recall, family, the day that I accomplished the goal. I remember my legs moving, right? And the pain that I was feeling in my legs because the endurance that had been built, it was still challenging. And that pain began to signal something to my mind. My legs were telling my mind, hold on, David. Hey, this is extremely uncomfortable. This is extremely difficult. Maybe we should slow down, right? Like my mind is telling me, hey, you got to slow down the pace. I don't know if this is going to work. And in those moments, Dwayne, what happens is this. Your body may be trying to convince your mind to give up. And then your mind might buy into the conditions that you're currently experiencing and then conform to that pain or that discomfort. But what has to happen, family, there's got to be a heart connection. Comment below a heart connection. In those moments when you feel like giving up, right? In those moments when you're building your career and it seems like you're knocking on doors and nobody's opening them up for you, right? When it seems like you're building your business and things aren't working in the way that you planned them to, right? When you're aiming to improve the quality of your life and it seems like you get hit with these roadblocks and these setbacks. Maybe you're battling with a chronic illness and you feel like I can't make it another day. I need you to keep pushing yourself. And what's going to help you push yourself is the heart connection, right? Because again, the body may be trying to convince the mind it's over, but your heart has to disrupt that conversation and say, hold on, this is what we're aiming to experience. Hold on, this is what you said we're going to do. Hold on, this is what we're going to build in our life. The passion for you improving the quality of your life has to enter into the conversation, Rick, because again, if we're not careful, we'll conform to the conditions that we're experiencing. We'll succumb to the pain that we feel. But if we push ourselves in those moments when we feel like giving up, what will happen is you'll reach a level of success that you can't even imagine. Because in many ways, we limit ourselves based upon what we think we can do. But when we allow our heart to come into the situation, the love that we have to improve the quality of our life, the love that we have for this vision that we're working towards, the love that we have to accomplish this goal that we're aiming to experience, when we allow that to enter into the conversation, family, you'll find a strength that you didn't know you possessed. You'll find a way to endure the storm and rise above the challenge and jump over the hurdles that are placed in front of you and achieve the goal that you envision. The second mindset shift that I want to share with this family is tied into that concept. I'll say this and then we'll wrap it up. Let me put it up on the screen. T.S. Eliot, he said, it's only those who risk going too far that can possibly find out how far one can go. We're talking about how to stay driven. We're talking about how to remain motivated. We're talking about how to have that winner's mindset, that when you set a goal, you finish it. We're talking about breaking the pattern that many of us have adopted of starting things, but stopping when it becomes difficult. Starting things, but giving up when it becomes challenging. Starting things, but believing what the doubters have said about what's capable for you in your life and throwing in the towel the moment when you get hit with some resistance. But like T.S. Eliot said, it's only those that take the risk. It's only those that step outside of their comfort zone. It's only those that are willing to push themselves. It's only those individuals that take the risk of going too far, meaning you're breaking barriers. You're moving beyond what other people have labeled to be possible. It's only those individuals that can possibly find out how far they can go. Here's your call to action this week. I don't know what you're working towards. I don't know what your personal goal is, but I want you to take it there. I want you to go too far, right? Go too far. I want you to challenge yourself this week. Yeah, I understand. There's going to be moments when you feel like giving up. Rick, there's going to be moments when your back is up against the wall. There's going to be moments when life hits you, like it buckles your knees. It takes the wind out of you. And you find yourself challenged in breathing and staying focused. I need you to keep pushing yourself. Because the more and more you push yourself, again, when the effort becomes painful, when it's challenging, when it's overwhelming, you'll find a way to succeed. And when you find a way to succeed, you'll redefine possibilities. This week, again, I don't know what you're working towards, what you're aiming to accomplish, what you're aiming to experience, but I want you to stay driven. I want you to stay driven. All with the goal, not just to accomplish this dream. No, it's bigger than that. The goal of you finding out how far you can go. Because every single one of us, we have knowledge that we're not applying. We have wisdom that we do not use. We have capabilities that we do not leverage, skills that we've adopted and developed over the years that we're not putting into place. Like our full potential doesn't necessarily show up in our day-to-day behavior. This week, I challenge you to apply yourself, to push yourself, to go the extra mile, to again remain focused, disciplined, and have the willingness to do what is necessary instead of what's just convenient or easy. And this is ultimately, family, what separates those from those that succeed and those that fall short with their goals. The common denominator amongst those that succeed is ultimately that they're willing to do the things that other people won't do so that they can experience the life that other people can't. This week, I challenge you to be that person that's willing to go the extra mile, to dig a little deeper, jump a little higher, reach a little further, and do a little more so you can become greater and experience the life that you want. More personally, the life that you deserve. I don't know about you, but I wasn't fearfully and wonderfully made simply just to settle in life in the same way that you were. You weren't crafted and designed to operate below your potential. You were not manufactured, right? You were not created and placed here on this earth to be unhappy, to be hopeless, to be powerless or helpless, to be despondent or be impoverished or to be depressed or to be anxious, right? You weren't created to be crying yourself to sleep. You weren't designed to live paycheck to paycheck, right? You were not designed to have your back up against the wall and feeling as if your life doesn't have any meaning or any purpose. You're bigger, you're better, and you're greater than that. And I'm challenging you this week to leverage your personal power and go get what has your name on it. But the only way you're going to get what has your name on it if you remain focused and disciplined and have the willingness to do what is necessary instead of just what's convenient and what's easy. Now, granted, I'll say this and I'll wrap it up. I understand it's going to be difficult. I understand it's going to be challenging. You may be saying, D1, man, it's rough. It's rough for your boy. It's rough for your sis, right? It's rough in this moment. Hear me clearly, family. As it gets rougher, you got to get tougher. As it gets rougher, you got to get tougher. I'm talking about digging deep down within, connecting with your core. Remember, having that heart connection. There's going to be moments when the body is signaling to the mind we can't take anymore. There's going to be moments when the body is signaling to the mind we got to give up. For many of us, there's going to be moments when the body is signaling to the mind we got to go back to the life that we used to live. I know you've been aiming to reinvent yourself. I know you've been aiming to break generational cycles. I know you've been aiming to improve the quality of your life and the life of your family, but it's difficult. There's going to be moments when the body is signaling to the mind that we can't take another step, but your heart has to intercede. Your heart has to step into that conversation and interrupt that negative pattern that may try to conform you to your conditions and circumstances. You got to allow your heart to step into the conversation. Here's something that you can do. This wasn't on today's notes, but I'll give this to you to help you get that heart into the conversation. Every day this week, I challenge you to remind yourself as to why you do what you do. Dig even deeper than that. I want you to remind yourself on who's counting on you to show up. I want you to remind yourself on who misses out if you do not show up. I want you to remind yourself on the meaning behind your efforts. I want you to remind yourself of who is counting on you to show up and be at your best. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's your community. Maybe it's people that are struggling with something that you are aiming to accomplish, right? Some cause that you're working towards. Whatever it is, I want you to stay reminded of who's counting on you to show up. So in those moments when you feel weak, in those moments when you're tired and exhausted, in those moments when you feel hopeless and powerless, you'll be able to find a strength that you can't create on your own. And your heart is going to remind you, you got to stay solid in this moment. We can't afford to fold. We got to keep taking steps because somebody's counting on us to get to that finish line. Now, we've said a lot during today's conversation. I'm hoping that we found value out of this conversation. But I want to leave you with those two quotes again. And I want these quotes to echo in your mind as you step into this week's opportunities. It's the one that's willing to push themselves when the effort becomes painful. That's the one that's going to win. And it's only those that take the risk of going too far that can possibly find out how far they can go. Your call to action is to find out how far you can go this week. If you slid into this broadcast and I was unable to give you a shout out, be sure to comment below. And if in fact this is your first time or maybe your first time in a long time, put a number 1 in the chat. I'll be sure to shout you out before we wrap up today's conversation. Yeah, Melissa. There's people out there suffering, right? And they need you to step in. There's people out there hurting, and they need you to come in. They need you to show up. And showing up doesn't have to be you being Superman or Superwoman. Showing up can be you just arriving. You overcoming yourself to even get out of bed, right? You never know what you do and how it can inspire someone else. It's about you overcoming you. You conquering yourself in those moments when you feel like quitting, in those moments when you got tears rolling down your eyes and your face and you feel like throwing in the towel, but yet and still you take another step. It's those small steps that lead to greater victories, all because you develop the habit of conquering yourself. Lena, I will continue to get comfortable and uncomfortable for sure. Sheila, you got to stay driven. Kenyetta, my phenomenal sister, I see you in the building. Great day. Russ, Katrina, great day. Absolutely. Encouragement received and shared. Appreciate you. For sure, Kenyetta, absolutely. Myrna Bradshaw, great day to you. Blessings to you as well. Again, family, I'm hoping that we did find value in what we discussed during today's conversation. If, in fact, you did, please share this out with the people that you personally care about. Again, you never know how something that we discussed during today's conversation can impact somebody that you do know. So please share this out on Facebook, share this out on X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as those tapped in on LinkedIn, and everybody watching this on YouTube. If you would, please hit the like button. It goes a long way in the algorithm to share this out with those that are interested in this content. And then you can personally share this out by copying the link and then sharing it out either through email or text message or DMing somebody on some social platform. Whatever the case, I would truly appreciate you sharing this out. Again, you never know how somebody that you're connected to can benefit from what we discussed. Also, if we have yet to connect on other platforms, be sure to connect with your boy. At D1 Gibson is my handle pretty much on all platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also, I'm on LinkedIn, if that's your platform of choice. Also, tap in. And then YouTube. If you guys have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, be sure to tap in. That's where all my long form content is available. Also, I have my documentary series on small businesses that will be launching very, very soon. I cannot wait to unleash this project. A lot of heart, love, blood, sweat, and tears has been invested into this project, and I know for a fact many of you will get immense value from these episodes where we go into the stories and the journey of many small business owners, unpacking their quest and ultimately sharing information that will empower and educate aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners that are building their ideas currently. But for sure, that's available on YouTube, and I'll be announcing some information in the very near future. And also tap into my growth newsletter, family. That's at elevationisAmust.com. If you guys have yet to do so, I share a lot of more in-depth strategies and tools and tips there on the newsletter. And then if you want to dive even deeper and join us on our Zoom calls in our MindFit community, come join us and tap in. I want to say the comment, there it is. Tap in right there. I think the link is available on Facebook. And I want to say maybe, well, since we had that disruption on the stream, I don't think it's available on YouTube in the description. But there it is. To make it easier, you can go to mindfitcommunity.com. This is where we go into deeper depths on group coaching, interactive coaching sessions. Currently, we are preparing to step into our Rules of Your Mind series. Dwayne and Kenyetta are both members of our mastermind. You guys have participated in this series before, and I cannot wait for us to unpack the information that we discuss in this series. It is life-changing, man. Kenyetta, I know you're in this broadcast currently. I made a declaration last year when we went through this series where I told every individual in the mastermind, I promise you, you will not be the same person you are now by the end of this series. And I made sure, family, that I held up that promise. It will change your life simply because you learn the dynamics of your mind, right? The belief system that you have, how your mind operates ultimately. You know what I mean? How emotion can often overpower your logic. And when we gain this understanding, now you're in a position to be empowered, to change the narrative in your head, to develop an empowered identity of who you are. We're talking about reframing the story that you tell yourself. Because the story that you tell yourself about yourself carries the greatest influence over your life. Everybody and their mama can believe in you. Like, you can be gifted, talented, skill. You can have more degrees than a thermometer. But if you don't believe in yourself, if you doubt yourself, if you're telling yourself a disempowered story, you'll be ineffective. And for many of us, like, you got what it takes and it takes what you got, but what's holding you back is not a lack of education. It's not a lack of resources. It's not a lack of experience. It's you getting in your own way. And what we have to learn to do is understand what's happening right here. And when we gain that understanding, now we're in position to leverage that information and place us in an empowered state to make empowered decisions that keep us in alignment with our vision, our purpose, and our goals. If you guys can't tell, I'm passionate about this topic. So I say all that to say, if you're interested in diving deeper, come join us in the MindFit community. Come join us in the MindFit community. Take this ride with us. Join this journey with us so you too can experience the transformation that you deserve. Get out of your own way. Let's level up your life. You're going to be provided with tools and strategies that you can use for the remainder of your life. I'm talking about transforming generations, right? Improving your emotional intelligence so now you and your family can communicate more effectively. You can communicate more effectively with your kids. Now, you and your relationship, right? You have a deeper understanding on the dynamics of emotion. And now you can begin to leverage that information in ways where your experience with your loved ones, right, is enhanced because you have this information at your fingertips and you can leverage the tools that we discuss. And I promise you it's going to improve the quality of your life. So again, tap in, family, mindfitcommunity.com. Come join us, come elevate with us as we prepare to step into this new series. Again, the rules of your mind. We've talked about many things again during today's broadcast. Let me go ahead and wrap this thing up. As we do wrap it up and complete today's conversation, again, I'm hoping that we found value during today's conversation. The call to action is to go too far. Go there. Go there this week. I want you to push yourself to new levels. And as you push yourself and you feel like giving up, remind yourself on what it is that you're aiming to accomplish, on who's counting on you. You got to stay focused on the purpose behind the things that you're doing, right? I think Jim Rohn once said, the bigger the why, the easier the how. And many of us get caught up in the what and the how. And we need to focus on the why. The why is going to lead you down the path that you need to take, right? Now, granted, you need to understand what you're doing and how you're doing it and continuing to improve it. But in those moments when you feel like giving up, remember your why. So you can keep taking steps towards where you aim to be in life, for sure. Well, let's wrap this thing up again. If you find yourself in a difficult situation or a challenging experience, just remember this too shall pass. So be encouraged. Don't make a permanent decision that's based upon a temporary circumstance. Stay focused. And like we talked about during today's conversation, keep pushing yourself. And out of the 8 billion people, I read just the other day that the world population has grown over 8 billion people. It's a lot of us running around out here, y'all. It's a lot of people out here. So with that being said, don't let one person disrupt your day. Don't let one person disrupt your attitude, right? Stay focused. But if nobody else tells you that they love you today, remember your brother from another mother, D1, has nothing but love for each and every single one of you. So be encouraged, okay? Spread this inspiration. Be an advocate for positivity, an ambassador for love as we feel good and feel inspired during today's conversation. Let's carry this energy into the workplace, into your families, into your schools, wherever you're going today. Let's spread this inspiration. You be the light. Continue to shine your light and be intentional about doing that day in and day out. Again, I thank each and every single one of you all for tapping in during today's conversation and joining in on today's broadcast. We'll be back at it next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the broadcast. And like I mentioned, come elevate with us in the MindFit community. Again, that's mindfitcommunity.com. Until then, family, be effective, be successful, live with some passion, and most